to You by Puffin.
Doctor Who Icons, Volume 1 by Sophie Mackenzie, L.D. Lipinski and Kalynn Bayron. Read by Norah Lopez-Holden, Jacob Dudman and Ayesha Antoine.
Frida Kahlo and the Schoolchildren by Sophie Mackenzie. Read by Norah Lopez-Holden. Chapter 1. The more she hurried, the more everything hurt. Frida gritted her teeth as she made her way after her sister. "Cristina!" she shouted, her annoyance building along with the pain in her back and hip. "Más despacito, slow down!" But Cristina didn't seem to hear. She didn't stop until she reached the park gates. Then she turned and waved at Frida, still at the far end of the road. Frida glared at her. Cristina was just a year younger than she was, but the two sisters couldn't look less alike. The difference wasn't in their colouring. Both had thick dark hair and brown eyes, but whereas Cristina wore an expression of openness, Frida was angry and intense. Her heavy brows knitted and her face closed and resentful, reflecting the pain that was her constant companion. Their clothes marked them out as very distinct personalities too. Cristina, just blossoming into womanhood at 17, wore a figure-hugging silk coat, scarlet with a pink lace trim around the collar. Frida's style was entirely her own. She liked to dress to express her identity, which, on some days, meant a long skirt and loose blouse, and on others, like today, a mannish suit teamed with slicked back hair and dark eyeliner. Her mother hated her looking like that. "Que traje feo," she would say, shaking her head. "Such an ugly outfit. You look like a boy." But Frida didn't care. Clothes should show who you were and how you felt. They weren't just for keeping warm or cool in, or, as her mother would have it, to impress people. Clothes were part of your identity, and that was nobody's business but your own. There was a time when Frida had worried a lot about how people saw her. She'd even been embarrassed by the limp that was the legacy of the polio she had contracted when she was a small child. But then, 6 months ago, came the terrible crash on her way home from school. The bus collided with a trolley car, leaving Frida with a shattered pelvis and much else broken in her body. Now it didn't bother her what people thought. Mostly, she just felt angry at the world. Breathing heavily from her exertions, she reached Cristina at the park gate. "Why didn't you wait for me?" she demanded. Cristina smiled. "Sorry, manita." Frida shook her head. Sometimes she felt more like Cristina's mother than her sister. The year between them had never seemed so vast. Had she ever been like Cristina, all pretty dresses and flirty glances? No, even before her accident, Frida had been serious and determined. The smartest of his children, Papa said, destined to be a scientist or a doctor. "Don't be cross." Cristina waved her delicate hand towards the clear blue sky. "The sun is shining, and there are boys we know in the park." She giggled. Frida rolled her eyes. No wonder Cristina had got so dressed up to come out today. "So, this so-called walk we're having is basically to give you a chance to hang out with boys." "No, it's to give you a chance to get out of the house and talk to people," Cristina sighed. "It's just Pablo from church and some of his friends. I thought you'd be pleased to see them." Frida made a face. She hadn't been to their local church, San Juan Bautista, since before her accident, and sometimes reflected that this was the one positive thing to have come out of the whole terrible business. Not that her mother saw her lack of attendance in that light. "No seas pendeja. Don't be such a jerk," Cristina went on. "Alejandro and Agustín..."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?